Welcome to Nerd on Nerd with me, Ellie Campster.
And me, Liam Underwood. And in this episode, we're talking about Lumberjanes, Volume 1, Beware, the Kitten Holy.
Ooh.
What could that mean? We'll find out later.
I mean, we already found out. We'll talk about it later.
No, well, the listeners will find out later.
Yeah, you'll find out later, but we already know.
Yeah, but I was using a we as in to like bring the listeners in. So
like
they
a
feel
royal we?
part of it. Yeah, royal we.
Okay.
Yeah. Before all that fun stuff, though, we're doing some catching up in this part of the show. Catching up with Ellie and Liam.
Yep, very good. Oh, Liam, I love that after 3 years, or however the fuck long we've been doing this.
I mean, over 80 episodes now, right?
You're so, like, you've just got it down, mate.
Yep, seamless. Professional is what you might call it. At the end of the day, right, here's the thing. Until we start getting paid to do this, I'm not going to take it seriously.
We're technically amateurs.
Yeah.
If you're not being paid, you're amateurs. I mean, it's all good.
Technically, evidently.
Yeah. Metaphorically, all of it.
Yeah, exactly. What have you been up to?
Boiler broke, Liam.
Oh, yeah, and it
bloody
flooded.
Nuisance,
because the boiler's in your bedroom, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got the. It's not the boiler. See, you tweeted that out, and I was going to correct you, and then forgot completely about it until you just said that. The boiler is not in my bedroom.
I thought you said to me that it was.
No, the hot water tank for the boiler is in my bedroom. Like the controls for the boiler are in my room.
Right.
But the boiler itself is in the kitchen.
Okay. And the hot water tank is what exploded?
No, the boiler exploded.
So how did that flood your bedroom?
It didn't flood my bedroom. It flooded the kitchen.
But you were tidying your bedroom?
Yes, because the guy had to come round to sort out the boiler. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
I thought you were like, it's flooded my bedroom, so I need to tidy.
No.
Right.
No.
You explained it very badly.
I saw you got confused, and I saw the tweet, and I was going to correct it, and then, like, I think that was one of the days where I was tweeting a lot for separate issues.
On your own account, not on the Nerd on Nerd account. Yeah.
No, from my own account.
I haven't noticed a lot of action on the Nerd on Nerd account from you. Although I did notice, right, and this grated me, that you tweeted from the Nerd on Nerd account promoting Tom's new podcast, which I'm okay with. I like Tom's new podcast. It's a great podcast. What I don't like is that you said our friend, but you spelt it A-R-E, which is just like such
I thought you might have picked up on that.
Such a rookie error.
I picked up on it very quickly, and then tried to edit the tweet, and then remembered you can't do that.
No, you had to have to delete the tweet and redo it.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I might as well leave it, because at least this way people will know that that's an Ellie tweet.
Yeah, listeners, if you ever wonder who's tweeting from Nerd on Nerd, I mean, 99% of the time, just guess Liam, and you're right.
But if it sounds like a child has tweeted it...
If there's a -e at the end, that's because I've remembered that that's how I do my tweets.
Yeah.
So that's me.
Yeah.
Or if there's a very obvious spelling mistake that, like Liam says, a child would have figured out.
Yeah.
That's also me.
Yeah. But I was surprised that you made such a obvious error.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm usually better on tweets because I go back and check them. I think I was just so excited that Tom's podcast was live that
Yeah, I mean, it's a good podcast. I've enjoyed what I've
great.
listened to it so far. It's another one of those podcasts where I'm annoyed at how good the idea is.
The worst part... So, listeners, just to get you all... Tom is the other person who's doing another podcast with me and Liam.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, which, news to come.
Yeah.
But he... Just when we were maybe recording something for the new podcast, he was just like, oh, I've done like a little test to see if my mic's all good and all that stuff by just, recording this little podcast idea I've had. And it's bloody genius. The guy's a dickhead. It was meant to be just a test of his equipment, and it's become a full-on podcast because we like it.
Yeah, but now it also means that we're going to network. We're properly going to network. We're going to create a network.
That's the goal.
We need to figure out a name, because I think
the best thing about our network is it's going to be 3 people and 3 podcasts.
It is, right? But I was talking to Kat about this, and I was like, the annoying thing about this is, like, the way I always picture networks working is that you kind of offer people stuff to join. So you're like, oh, look, we've got sponsorships and this sort of thing. Like, we can do cross-promotion. We already have a listener base of X amount of people. So join our network and we can kind of help you out, which is how it should work. But because we're literally launching this network, Kat was saying, well, now you can go to, like, sponsors and stuff and say, look, we have 3 shows with, like, a combined listenership of... And then we can try and get sponsors that way by essentially inflating our numbers. If any people were thinking about sponsoring us, listen to that. Ignore
I
it.
might just edit that little bit out where Liam makes it seem very bad to sponsor us.
They won't listen. We want
fair
Fleshlight to
point.
sponsor us anyway, so if you're not Fleshlight and you're listening, I mean, we'll still take your money, but begrudgingly.
Yeah, we'd prefer that you were Fleshlight or Adam and Eve.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
a sex toy company, to be honest.
Any of those. I mean, we just want to try some sex toys, don't we? For free.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but so Tom's got a new podcast, and that was good. We'll get back to your thing you started talking about.
Yeah,
but
we went off topic immediately.
I did also want to say, like, I wanted to talk about the Into the Asylum one because we have now recorded the
Episode
intro
0.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that I wanted to mention in the catching up
Yeah.
with because it's something we did, and we have watched. I think all of us have now watched the first film as well. We just haven't recorded an episode on it yet.
No, not yet.
So do you want to give like? I know we've maybe discussed it in the past on this podcast, but do you want to let people know what this is about?
Yeah, I can't remember how much detail we've gone into in the past. So we've got a new podcast called Into the Asylum coming out, which is basically my ambition to watch every Asylum film. Asylum are a company that makes sort of not spoofs. What are they called?
Mockbusters.
They call them mockbusters.
Yeah.
So like Atlantic Rim.
Yeah.
Jurassic Land,
Snakes
stuff like that.
on a Train.
Snakes on a Train is a classic one. Alien vs Hunter.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. I love them. So I was like, we should start a podcast where we just go through the entire catalogue of Asylum films.
Yeah.
And I've somehow convinced Liam and Tom to do it.
So we did an Asylum film on Nerd on
Yes.
Nerd. We did Sunday School Musical.
Yeah. Which is
And I didn't hate it.
It's by a sort of sister company. It's one of their subsidiaries or whatever they call it.
Yeah, we'll
Division,
be covering it, won't we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I if you give me a list of films and you're like, work through these in order, and the order makes sense, I'm happy.
Yeah, I feel like that's how I got you on board, was I just gave you an ordered list. The idea of me giving you something in order is so appealing.
Yeah.
That you're just like, all right, fine, I'll do it.
Exactly. Well, I kind of feel like as well, like, I could be wrong here, but the way I'm picturing this podcast going, the way, like, well, maybe not picturing, but assuming this podcast will go, you're going to be very much enamoured with these films.
Yep.
Tom, I can see being a whole lot less pleased with it, and I'm hoping to kind of mediate.
Oh, you want to be the mediator?
I'm thinking I'll be in the middle ground.
Oh, see, I've been picturing that obviously I'm going to love it. I mean, I think we're all in agreement. I'm going to love it.
Yeah.
I thought it would be Tom in the middle, and you would just sort of begrudgingly hate the whole experience.
No, after recording the intro episode, I think Tom's going to struggle with this a lot more than I will.
I think that's probably true.
Yeah, like I've sat through some real shitty films, so I know that I can.
Yeah.
I think Tom might struggle.
Tom has sat through shitty films as well.
He's not been happy about it.
No, that's true.
I mean, I made you watch 3 Feast films. I can do shitty films.
Yeah, that is true. Tom didn't experience Feast. Tom, we don't know if you're ready for this. Tom also listens to this show, so he's listening to this conversation happen.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom, write in and let us know whether you think you'll be the mediator or the disapproving one.
And we'll find out probably quite quickly because
Imagine if Tom wrote in and said he thought I'd hate it all, you'd love him, and he'd be the mediator.
that would be interesting.
Be wild.
We'll
Totally
find out.
different
We
view.
will find out.
But
So
yeah,
that's
so
something
that's
to keep an ear out for.
Yeah, it'll be coming out. We're going to be.
We're going to try
We're
and
trying
build
to
a bit
get
of a
some in the
backlog.
bucket. Yeah, so that we can have a bit of leeway because it's going to be monthly as opposed to bi-monthly.
Yeah, and then okay,
So-
we will get back to the story that you started, but this does also
Yeah.
sort of tie in. I also wanted to talk about since we last recorded, the other podcast that I'm working on with Amanda called Criterion Crack has now officially launched. Our first episode went up last Wednesday. We've already had some really nice feedback from it. Nothing from you, I noticed.
I haven't listened to it yet. I mean, okay, so listeners, to defend myself here, I was going to listen to it, and then what Liam said to me really put me off, which was, I think you're going to hate this podcast. And I said, oh, really? Why? And he was like, it's very movie, like, oh, we're
Yes.
very... And he's right, that is the sort of stuff that can put me off. But it's Liam, one of my best buddies, and Amanda, one of my good podcast friends, and I've had one of them trying to put me off.
No, I'm not trying to put you off. I'm trying to prepare you for it because
Is it because
you know,
because I'm going to listen and get really jealous? Because I'll be like, oh my god, Liam's being so buddy-buddy with Amanda.
I mean, there's definitely that, and also you'll be like, oh my god, this podcast is edited really well because Amanda's doing all the editing. I think the other issue is so our first episode is about a French film from like 1937, I think.
Oh God, you might be right.
Yeah,
you said it, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
I don't want to do that.
No, and we go deep in. Well, we
do I
sort
have
of go
to watch
deep
the
into
film to understand the podcast?
It might help. We have a few people on Twitter and stuff that are actually following along and watching. But okay, I'm gonna read out some feedback we got just to give you an idea of the tone.
Okay.
Me and Amanda last night recorded our like feedback that's going to go into the next episode. So that is probably going to come out around the same time this is going to come out. So it's not like if you listen to both, you're not really being spoiled by much here.
Yeah, you're not ruining the other podcast for Nerd on Nerd.
No, but this will kind of give you a good idea, right, of what to expect. So Joey from the Zack Attack podcast and the Too Fast, Too Forever, the Fast and Furious podcast, he listened, and he's also planning to follow along by doing all the films.
Oh, well, this is right up their street, isn't it?
Exactly.
He's another one that loves these bloody lists.
Yeah. He messaged me on Facebook saying, "Ha ha, Liam, I love that Amanda's talking about prisoner of war camps, and you're out here talking about busty Nazis with whips in exploitation movies."
It would be nice, I guess, listening to a podcast of two people with very different views on the world, Liam.
Yeah, I mean, one of us has to bring the tone down, and it's probably not going to be Amanda, is it?
No. No, it won't. How many times has Amanda had to say to you, like, no, that's too problematic?
Nothing yet.
I should compare notes with Amanda and see, because I think I cut less stuff out nowadays. Back when we first started, you definitely have. Because back in the old days, there were definitely like segments of this show that I was like, I can't let that go to air. And there's nothing major, listeners. Yeah, just because now you're all going to be sitting there thinking, what did Liam say?
It's
nothing
not like
bad.
It's just, maybe I worded things.
Yeah, Liam has a tendency to phrase things badly, as I'm sure you've picked up on, because I do leave some of them in because they're very funny.
Yeah. Criterion Crack launched. Amanda's done a really good job editing. I'm very appreciative. She's very patient.
Alright, fuck off, mate. Oh, yeah. Bloody 3 years of Nerd on Nerd. Not once have I been praised for my editing.
Okay.
Amanda and him have launched one episode. Ooh, Amanda's amazing at editing.
Yeah, the reason why, though, is because I'm still catching up. I haven't listened to a lot of your recent editing stuff.
Oh, it doesn't get any better.
No, I mean...
Amanda's going to listen to this and be so upset that I've caused another argument based on her.
Yes, she is. I listened to... Okay, in fairness, I recently edited for the YouTube channel our terrible anniversary episode where we did the letters to each other.
Oh, yeah.
And you did a good editing job there.
Was that... Yeah, I added, like, background music, didn't I?
Yeah, so, there you go. There's a compliment.
Thanks.
That you basically asked for.
I'll take it.
Yeah. All right, so back to your story. So I totally derailed that.
My boiler broke.
And your boiler is based in your kitchen.
In the kitchen.
The hot water tank is in your bedroom.
My room.
Is your room like the bitch room out of all of the rooms?
No. I've got this. So I've got the second biggest room in the house, like bedroom size wise. When I first moved in, like this is back when I was a kid, because I live in my parents' house. For anyone that doesn't know that,
yeah.
I used to have a single bed, and this room was huge, and I had tons of space. Now I have a double bed because when I went to uni, my parents were like, "We might have people staying over, and yours is the obvious guest room."
Oh, they weren't like, "Oh, Ellie, you might, get a partner." And
no. They're far beyond that.
They know what's up.
They know. They were like, "Do you want a race car bed? We can." No,
do you want a bunk bed? Maybe is that more your speed?
Oh, honestly, I'd love a bunk bed.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry. Don't get distracted by that. So we got this double bed.
Yeah.
And it's sort of the way my room is set up is that the bunk bed, the double bed is basically in the middle of the room, and it means that I haven't got enough space on the end of the bed to get to my like clothes drawers thing.
Yeah.
On the other side of the bed, there's not enough space because I've got a cabinet with all my games in it.
Okay.
So I can't get over that side of my bed. So I only have the space that's left where my desk is and to my door. So my room used to be the second biggest, and then my sister the other day when she was back from uni was complaining and talking about how small her room is because she has got the bitch room.
Yeah.
And I was like, to be fair, I think she's got more space than me. And she was like, no, I don't. And I was like, no, because a lot of my space is unusable.
Yeah, just from the way the room is laid out.
Yeah, exactly. I don't mind it though.
But is there any way that I guess is it all because the bed's too big for that room now? Then
yeah, and it won't fit anywhere else in here.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense
because of the way the room is.
Yeah. Okay, so
Boiler broke.
boiler broke.
I wasn't here when it broke. I came home and it had apparently made a load of banging noises, sprayed water everywhere, and flooded our kitchen. Which, you know, it's bad. We had to pay a lot of money to get a boiler replaced.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
No, it's expensive. The worst part, though, was that we were without heat for about a week. And it's been like the coldest week in Britain this year.
There's like snow and stuff, right?
Yeah. So it was literally hell.
Yeah.
Everything's been cold.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare, mate.
But have you got it fixed now?
We now have a boiler again.
And heating?
Yeah. Although I don't have a radiator in my room because it broke like 2 years ago and it just... Because I've got the hot water tank, my room naturally heats up when the heating's on, so I don't really care.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's all I've been doing, Liam. I mean, there's been other stuff.
Yeah, like, it's probably too soon for you to review it, but you have been playing a VR game at my recommendation.
I have. That'll be in the things I've done, but not this week.
Yes, that's something to come forward. But I need to see a video that you've made.
Yeah, I'll probably post it online and then we can tweet it from Nerd on Nerd or whatever, or tweet to it, whatever.
Fantastic.
Basically, I don't know if listeners know I'm terrified of water in video games.
I don't think listeners do know, because I only found this out like a couple of weeks ago.
Really? Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was baffled by it.
It's my fucking... I hate it. I hate water levels in video games. Like, I have what's it called? I learnt the name recently. There's tasselophobia or something. It's the fear of like things being in the water with you, like big things in the water.
I get that. Like, I've seen a picture, right? Like an aerial shot of a boat, and then below it you see the shadow of like a whale.
Yes.
And that is really terrifying.
Yeah. Dude, as a kid, one of my a nightmare I had that genuinely scared the shit out of me was just being trapped in this square room with one door that you couldn't reach because it was so high up on the wall.
Right.
And then the room was just infinitely deep. Like, I couldn't tell how deep it was.
Yeah.
And there was a killer whale and a shark in it with me. And they weren't doing anything to me. They were just swimming around underneath me. And I was like, this is hell.
Yeah.
And
I know.
So video games bring back that fear. Because the moment because in a video game, like in real life, I can sort of be like, there's nothing. I'll still freak out, but I'll be like, there's nothing actually in here with me that's big, unless I'm with whales. In a video game, giant shit pops out from everywhere in water levels, and I hate it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that bit in that level of that VR game, in the video, I'm swimming into that section where the big giant scary thing is. It's not even big, it's just big.
Yeah.
And I look at it, and then in the video I just go, no, I'm fucking leaving this room, and just skip everything in that section and just swim straight past.
Oh, that is not how you play that game.
No, I know. Every other level I explore, but that level I just went, nah, shortest route.
There are other levels where there's underwater bits, but I don't think there's an entire underwater level.
It freaks me out.
There's a boss fight where there's a bit that goes underwater as well.
Oh, that's what I was hoping there wouldn't be.
There is.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's all good, though.
Is it a big whale?
No.
It better not be a big whale. Oh, fuck's sake.
It's not a big whale. It's not a big whale.
Oh, it's a shark or something. I don't like it.
That's fine. You'll be fine. It's all good. I've lost my train of thought.
You went,
Yeah. I was going to say something, and then just immediately it left my head.
Fair enough.
I'm excited to see this video, though.
I
remember what it was now. I was reading in PlayStation Magazine that there's a new game coming out that they said, like, in the opening paragraph, it was like, if you like games where the whole purpose is exploring, stop reading now, get this game. And I think it's called Subnautica.
Oh, fuck. I watch Subnautica videos and get scared watching them.
I know, I'm really tempted to get it.
You should. You'd love it.
Yeah, exactly.
I still think it would freak you out, though. That game is a scary game without being scared of water.
Yeah.
If you're scared of water, it's just don't get it, because
the
entire game is based in water.
Well, again, I haven't done enough to review it, but I've been playing Spyro 2 at the moment.
Yeah.
I've preferred Spyro 1.
Ooh.
Because what I don't like, right, is with Spyro 2 you have to pay to unlock these like abilities, and that means that there's certain levels that you can't like 100% on your first playthrough. You have to then go back and do them again, and I just find
only
that
a few
annoying.
though, to be fair.
Yeah, and I think I now have all of the stuff, and I've only just got to, like, the second.
There's only like 3 abilities you actually have to buy.
Yeah, like swimming underwater, climbing ladders.
Yeah, that one's a stupid one.
Yeah, and then I think that's it, isn't it?
Is there like a super headbutt or something, or a super ground pound or something?
Oh, if there is, I haven't got to that bit yet.
Oh, there might not be though. To be fair, I might be making that up.
I'll
Whatever.
Find
We're on a reel. This episode, we are all over the place.
Oh yeah. So to anyone that's trying to like follow this, sorry.
This whole bit of this segment has just been my boiler broke and I was cold, and we have talked about Spyro 2, water levels in video games, podcasts. It's been great.
Yeah, but you've got a tidy room now.
Yeah, my room is actually tidy.
So you said to me at some point that your goal was to keep it tidy going forward now, which you've also said to me in the past.
Yeah,
so,
it is though this time.
So what's different this time? Like, what's gonna?
I haven't got the underlying depression that comes with being a transgender person that doesn't quite realise they're transgender and can't figure out what's going wrong in their life. Whereas now, I don't have that.
So basically, what you're saying is that now you're a woman, you're going to keep your room tidy.
No, fuck you. Sexism, no. I'm going to make it a mess.
Alright, let me do the sad thing first, and then we can get into good stuff.
God. Oh, I made a joke, and then you said, do the sad thing, you dick. You did that on purpose. Right.
I didn't hear what your joke
Ellie.
was.
You know what this is. Liam.
Yeah?
What have you been up to?
Went to a funeral.
Oh, dear. Yeah, that's not great.
I think I spoke on the podcast last October-y time. Yeah, last October. Yeah. I went to Bournemouth to see some family.
Yep, I remember.
And I think I might have even spoke how at the end I was hugging goodbye and I got my Velcro jacket stuck to my great aunt. Last time that'll ever happen.
This isn't fair, Liam. You're not allowed to do this. Because it's mean, because I'll laugh, and then everyone's going to think I'm a dickhead.
Yep. So unfortunately, I found out like a little bit, like a first or second week of January, that she'd passed away, which is obviously sad. It's also really sad because her other half, like my great uncle, I think it is, they'd been together like 53 years, which is a significant amount of time.
Yeah.
So I'm more like, so she had MS and he was kind of her caregiver. And my concern is now very much for him, just like, because I guess his like purpose, like what not maybe not purpose, but he would literally spend his life looking after her. That's now gone, and he's living alone. Like he's got family around, but so we went to the funeral, which was just incredibly depressing, to be expected, I guess, from a funeral. Yeah,
I think if you went with the expectation that it would be like a fun time,
it was not.
You might have been, yeah.
And then like at the wake afterwards, like I overheard him saying to one of his friends, like he got back from the hospital that day, and he had a bottle of pills and whiskey, and it's like, oh, I could just go and be with her. But his son lives like really close, and his son has like 3 kids and that family, and it's like that's the only thing that kind of made me stop and not do that. And like hearing that and being like, oh, I live like an hour away, there's not a whole lot I can really do. Like my mum has said if he ever needs to just get away, she's more than willing to have him at hers for some time, just maybe like a change of scenery might help. But like he does have a lot of friends around, so I am hoping that like he'll start, and he was talking about joining like a bird watching thing. So I mean, you know, he's like 83, so there's only so much he can really do.
I mean, to be fair, I know people that their like other half has died when they're quite old, who have then gone on and just basically gone not crazy, but like go have party times and fun times, and that's kind of wild and cool. So
I'm hoping that's the path he goes down. It was just it was a lot harder than I was expecting it to be.
Well, I mean, to be fair, man, it's like it's someone in your family. Even if you're not like super close to them. And
I used to see him like once a year. October. So and I am so pleased that I did go in October, because I think there was a point where like Kat couldn't make it, and I was like, oh, do I still want to go without Kat? And I was like, no, I will. I do want to see them because I like spending time with them. So now just vote, but. It was so weird because it was so unexpected. Like when we saw them in October, they were planning her like 80th birthday party that was going to be this year. So it really did like come out of the blue. But it was, I don't know. It made me think, like, because we had to do the whole like a vicar did a little eulogy, and then you had to sing a little hymn, and then he read like a passage, and I was like, at my funeral, I want like none of that because I'm not religious. And I just think it would be like I don't know, because I've only been to like
mate,
a very few amount of funerals.
If you die before me and I go to your funeral and they try and do any religious shit that
you
you've told them to do,
that.
I'm not going to do... No, I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to be like, this is ridiculous. Because I could see you being like, oh, maybe I'll do a little bit.
No, because the thing is, they started doing the hymn, right? And it was so awkward because everyone was like... It was some hymn I've never heard of before. And no one knew when to start.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was just... I don't know. I didn't like it. And I was like, nah, I don't want to... So I've decided, and I've told Kat this, but she might forget, so I'm going to tell you as well. If I die, there's a couple of things I want. In an ideal world, I know this is hard... I want like the Viking burial where you put my coffin or something in a boat, set it on fire and send it out to sea.
Yeah, it's tricky because you have to get like...
permits and stuff.
And so, it's like, you know,
yeah.
polluting the water
if I
a little
can't
bit.
have that, and I'm not rich enough to be cryogenically frozen so they can unfreeze me at a time where they can fix whatever went wrong with me.
Even if you're rich enough to get cryogenically frozen, I'll put a nail through your head because the future does not need that, Liam.
It does.
They don't need you coming back.
No, it does. Sponsor us.
What, cryogenic freezers?
No, just sponsor us so I can be cryogenically frozen. So I can get enough money to be cryogenically frozen. If not, I don't really care what happens to me. I don't care if I'm buried. I don't care if I'm cremated. Don't give a shit.
Unless we can get the Viking boat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All I want is, as my coffin's being brought in, I want the Benny Hill theme tune playing.
Yeah.
And I want someone to pretend to drop it.
Can I actually drop it?
Yeah, that's fine. That is absolutely fine.
And you flop out.
Yeah, I think that would be hilarious with the Benny Hill theme tune playing.
No. See, the issue is it would be hilarious for me and you, and you're dead. So it would just be me.
Yep.
Everyone else would be very sad.
Yeah.
Your mum would hate me.
No, because I've told her that I want the Benny Hill theme tune playing and that I want this to happen.
Okay, that's all right then.
Like, everyone that knows me well.
Everyone says this and says, I want to have the funny one. And then when they actually died, like, your mum would be like, oh yeah, sure, do what you want. But then when you actually died, your mum would be very sad. And she wouldn't be like... She'd be sitting there going, I really hope they didn't agree to do the Benny Hill thing with the drop in the coffin.
Yeah, she would be very sad. I won't care. I'm dead. And I still want that to happen.
God. Yeah, fine.
Yeah. And then, so it's we're going to have a funny opening, but then it's going to end on a real emotional, like, hanger, not cliffhanger, but like a real emotional point where... So if it was the Viking thing... As the boat is going off to sea with flames going, I want... it's an obscure song. It's by this heavy metal band called Dream Evil, and it's called The End, and I want that playing.
Okay.
It would be just perfect. Like, the lyrics are like, something like, don't you cry, my friend.
Okay.
It's like, lyrically, it works. Yeah, it works brilliantly, but it's also heavy metal, or like power metal. So, I would love that. No hymns.
All right, that's fair.
And my mum told me,
yeah,
when she dies, the hymn she wants is All Things Bright and Beautiful.
That's a good classic one.
I remember it from school, so I'd at least sort of know how it goes.
Yeah.
But then she wants, like, the last song to play to be The Calling, Wherever You Go, which I think is just, like, super creepy.
It's not... See, we went two different ways there, because I was like, oh, shit, I'd be in tears.
That would be depressing as hell, but it's also, like... Wherever you go, I'll be there is essentially the moral of that song, which don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I think your mum knows you well enough to know that she definitely shouldn't be with you everywhere.
Oh no.
She'd avoid that. She'd be like, I'll pop in once a month in the middle of the day. Oh, even that's not safe. I don't know when she'd visit you. She'd be like, oh
no. And then Ian, my mum's other half, he wants to film himself DJing so he can DJ his own wake.
I quite like that, to be fair. That's pretty good.
It is, but I just feel like it's going to backfire horribly, because if someone has just died and then you have to watch a video of them DJing their own way...
I love it.
It's going to just be so weird. I genuinely...
That's to me, that's amazing. I'm honestly fully on board with that.
Tonally,
that's great.
That is going to be weird.
Every now and again, just by DJ and go, I'm dead.
Yeah, that's how I imagine it being. Or like try and do like a call and repeat.
Who's dead? I'm dead.
Yeah. So what about, have you given any thought to how you want to...
I don't want a Viking funeral. I want someone to recreate one of the like elven longboats from Lord of the Rings and just push me out into a river and then sing that that Even Star one or whatever it is.
How's it go?
May you see an even star.
Okay.
That one.
Yeah.
I want that. And I want everyone to be wearing long white stuff. And then as the boat gets out into the river, I want you, specifically you, to pull it back in with a rope and say, Ellie would have hated this. Get her out of the water.
Alright. I better stick to the gym then.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just my dad's got it all planned. His one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been told if he dies, I have to speak to my Uncle Billy, who has the full plan.
Oh, okay.
And it's a whole, like, you know, everything has to be happy and
Yeah.
no black suits, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I might just go fully the opposite way, just fully depressing.
Yeah, just like, I want everyone crying. And I want no tissues.
I want everyone to write down their most depressing song. And I want my playlist of my wake to be all of those songs. I just want everyone to be crying.
Yeah. Everyone to write down as well, like, their happiest memory of you and also the thing they most regret never telling you.
That's a good one. I'm good with that one. Or just everything you hated about me. Maybe that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Everyone gets over me a lot quicker. I go, what did you hate about me? Everyone's like, oh yeah, Ellie was kind of a dick.
Yeah, I know. Do we really want to be at your funeral for a week, though?
I'll plan it. Mine will be good. I'll do some...
I'll
get canapes.
Brilliant.
That's what everyone needs.
Yeah. No, I like the idea of, like, all wearing, like, long white robes and stuff.
I just like the idea of forcing, like, anyone who wants to come to my funeral who isn't nerdy like us to have to almost LARP.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think, is there any way that you could get, like, half to wear, like, white robes and then half to wear a different colour, so then you could, like, overlook it and it would sort of be like some warring faction going on.
Oh, I quite like
but
that.
they're fighting over your body.
Yeah, are there any, like... Oh, there's got to be some, like, proper nerdy... Like, the Space Marines have got to have, like, a funeral rite.
Oh, probably, yeah.
I want that.
It's probably like shooting into space or something, but sure.
I want you to tie my ashes to a rocket, a firework, and just try and get me to space.
Okay.
Thanks, Liam.
Sure, that'll go well. I just like the idea that you've told me this, but not your family. So I'm there, I'm like, right, where's the ashes? I've got the fireworks ready. Oh, dear. So, yeah, that happened.
Yeah, not great, but...
It was sad, but, you know,
yeah,
that's what funerals are.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I did my second ever personal training session with my new instructor.
Yeah, not your second ever, but your second with this instructor.
Yep. I was sick.
Yep.
It's becoming a trend.
Just stop. Just tell them to stop.
I think my body is saying, this is not for you.
Yeah, mate, yeah. The first time you did it, when you first started, yes, that was your body going to stop doing this. And then you ignored it.
And it's still, my body is still, is as stubborn as I am. It's like, no, you need to stop this. You will never have a body like Zac Efron. I'm going to make sure of that.
I just, like, how does, because I've been to the gym like 4 or 5 times in the past, all in a row. It was all very, I'm going to go to the gym, and then I just gave up.
Yeah.
But I didn't throw up, but I was close to, like, maybe passing out or throwing up when I did the rowing machine, and I went a bit too long on it and was like, oh, that's bad. Yeah. But, like, I could feel that I was getting to that point, so I stopped. Does your body just not warn you?
No,
Are you, like, totally fine, and then you just go...
Here's what happened. We did a load of exercises, which were fine. You know, we did them at, like, a good... For me, it's always cardio. That's the thing that tips me over the edge. So we did a load of exercises. They were fine. At the end, we did something called a circuit, where...
Yep, I know a circuit.
3 exercises, you do one after the other, and then you have a 20-second break, and you do it all again. I did the first circuit and was feeling good. I did the second circuit, and halfway through, I was not feeling good. But not like I'm feeling sick, just like, oh, I'm tired. Like, I'm struggling with this. Third time through, I was really struggling. She was like, all right, I'll give you a 30-second break, because you need to just, like, catch your breath and recuperate a bit. 4th time through, it was real struggling. Like, first time I'm like, yeah, I can do this. I was doing all the exercises. And then, like, 4th time through, I was like, yeah, here we go. And that's one done. And that's the second one done. And it was just awful. But I did all that, sort of recovered. And then she was just showing me, like, a few minutes later, just how to use a bit of equipment that was in my program that I hadn't used before.
Were you on the equipment using it?
Nope, I was just watching.
Okay, so that it wasn't like this tiny little bit where she was like, just push this, and you like,
no,
oh, I need to throw up.
No, I was literally just watching, and then my body just went, it's time now. And I was like, oh, sorry, I need to be right back. So that's the thing. If it happened like while I was doing the circuit or something, I'd be like, right, I get it, I went too far. But I'd had time to stop, and then my body kind of like caught up and was like, no, this was not for you.
Yeah, that's how it works.
I didn't like it.
Well, that is how, because that's like, it's like with muscles and muscle aches. It's when you stop that everything kicks in and you feel it all.
Yeah, but I'd already stopped for a good, like... So I did the circuits, right? Then I did 2 other exercises that weren't, like, fast-paced or anything. So it was probably a good, like, 10 minutes after doing the circuits.
Those extra bits probably just helped push you over the edge.
Yeah, honestly... The thing is,
Did you tell her you threw up?
Well, no, but I'd already warned her
Well, that's stupid.
I warned her that was likely to happen, and then I thought it was pretty obvious.
You came out covered in sick.
Well, the thing is, like, so last week, my first one, I warned her, and there was one point where my body was like, you need to stop now, and I listened to it, and I stopped, and I was really proud of myself. I was like, oh, maybe I've got this figured out. And then this week, turns out I had not.
And I was really proud of myself. I didn't exercise so much that I threw up. What a good job, Liam.
I listened to my body.
Oh, to be fair, that is an achievement for you, so I'm not going to knock it.
And now she's added me on WhatsApp, and my profile picture on WhatsApp is me in a Zac Efron mask, and she doesn't know about the Zac Efron stuff yet.
Oh no, you've not got to that point.
Well, I was expecting to in my first session, because the thing is, in all of my previous... So I've gone through 3 different personal trainers now. Well, this is my 4th one.
Not because he's so fit, listeners. It's not because he's, like, just beyond their level.
No.
It's because Liam's a fussy little shit.
No, the first one left and did a new job, and I did 2 others as I was trying to figure out who I wanted to go ahead with, and now I'm on my 4th one. So all of the previous 3, like, first session, what are your goals? And I've always said Zac Efron in Bad Neighbours 1, not Bad Neighbours 2, because he's a bit too buff in that. And now I'd thought about it and I was like, that's maybe unrealistic. So I'd planned, because I'm socially awkward, so I always plan how I'm going to do these sort of things. I planned, if she asks me in my first one, I can say, ultimate goal is Zac Efron in Bad Neighbours 1, but in the meantime, I'd be happy with Zac Efron in High School Musical 3.
That seems achievable. Well, like, muscle-wise, that seems achievable.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
No, yeah.
Muscle.
Everything from the neck down. I could maybe get that hair.
Oh, that's not... Sorry, no. I said muscle-wise. I didn't say you'd have... You wouldn't have Zac Efron's body. You're 31.
He's the same age as me.
Yes. But he wasn't in High School Musical 3.
No, he was not. He was like 20. 19, 20. But yeah, so I just figured, that seemed like an achievable goal. But that hasn't come up yet. So the whole Zac Efron thing hasn't come up. So she's just added someone on WhatsApp, which is just me wearing a Zac Efron mask with a 30 badge in a Wildcats t-shirt.
Yeah, she thinks you're a creep, which is accurate.
Yeah. Now
it's just usually you like to hide that from the PTs.
Well, that's the thing. Now, right, if it comes up at all, she's going to have like a light bulb moment where she'll be like, oh, the profile picture makes sense.
Oh, mate, honestly, I don't know if you can tell that's Zac Efron's face from glancing at that photo. It's a flat piece of cardboard wrapped round your head.
But then you look at the Wildcats t-shirt and then you're like, oh, it has to be.
Yeah, no, you're right. Everyone would see Wildcats and go, bloody Zac Efron.
Yep. So yeah, that's been my week. There's been lots happening.
Just sadness and vomiting.
Yeah, basically. Sadness, vomiting, and recording podcasts.
Yeah, fair.
It's been busy.
Fair enough.
Anything else for you to add in catching up with?
No, just tweeting about trans rights and stuff.
Yeah, that's something
if you want to go listen to me actually be like serious, look at my most recent tweet on Twitter.
It's doing well. Might not be your most recent when this episode goes up.
No, that's true.
Unless you pin it, you could pin it to your profile page.
Oh, I probably should actually.
Yeah.
That does feel like the kind of tweet I should have pinned up there.
Yeah, it's doing well though. It's done better than any of my tweets have ever done.
It's not doing well. I didn't put it out there to promote.
Yep. This is the thing. This is my issue I have with it, because I've said to you many times now that you should do a little tweet underneath it, which I always see when people go viral. They always tweet underneath with their little link to their SoundCloud.
Yeah. What you're forgetting there, Liam, is those people go viral because they've done things like filmed a dog eating a hot dog and then vomiting out a whole hot dog that hasn't been chewed, and then they go viral and they're like,
is that a thing that's gone viral?
I don't know. If it isn't, someone should try and get their dog to do that, because that sounds quite cool.
It sounds awful. I don't want to see that.
That's when people are like, oh, by the way, I've got so much attention, follow my SoundCloud.
Yeah.
When you're tweeting about, trans rights, people trying to take those away, that's less of the time where you're like, also go listen to my podcast.
Well, okay, unless...
No, not unless.
No.
There's no. I'm not going to use my trans right tweets to fucking promote the podcast.
Unless what we could do, if you want to, is give like a trans update of how it's all going, because I'm sure our listeners are curious.
As to what how it's all going.
Yeah, because like so
I'm transing.
You're what?
I'm transing.
You're in a transitory period.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So last time we spoke, you were taking the. I mean, the last time we really properly spoke about this was.
Yeah, which is probably a while ago.
Yeah. So has anything changed?
I think I've probably said on the podcast that the NHS are now paying for my hormones.
If you haven't, it's worth
As in,
saying.
I've got it on. I'm on the NHS now, which
Okay.
was a 2-year waiting period, but that's finally over.
Yeah.
Are
you still having like the laser treatment?
I need to sort out. I need to move on to the electrolysis, the more painful version.
Are you deliberately putting that off?
I have maybe been putting off a little bit because you have to get a needle jammed in your face and then they zap the hair, which is slightly terrifying.
And you didn't enjoy the last few years, if I remember rightly.
I was a big girl and I powered through it.
Yeah, well done.
I just need to do the same this time.
Yeah, okay, good luck with that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, not a whole lot.
Are you
just been getting angrier and angrier about how the world is with trans people.
Oh, yeah, well...
Because it keeps getting worse and worse.
Exactly. I think we're in a difficult time. I feel like it's sort of difficult, and it's this weird, like, double-edged sword, right, where it feels like there's a lot more awareness at the moment. Like, trans rights, to me, feels like it's not quite trendy, but it's just becoming more spoken about in the last, like, year, maybe 2 years. And I don't think that's purely because I now know someone, so I have, like, an in to that community. I think there is just, like...
There definitely, like, there's been a lot... So, the issue you've got is... I say that you've got. The issue that trans people, like me, have got is that we've become a very trendy topic for newspapers to report on. Yeah. Unfortunately, newspapers tend to report super negatively about us and try and find the worst things they can.
And then do, like, fear-mongering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good news is you've got people like... I think people probably saw it because it was pretty fucking big, was H-Bomber Guy, who's a leftish YouTuber who I love, who did a...
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it was a Donkey Kong live stream which he did as a sort of, not as a joke, but he was talking about how, like, he started it and thought he was maybe going to make, like, $3,000 for Mermaids, which is a charity in the UK that supports transgender kids and their families.
Which was in the news just before Christmas because
Graham fucking Linehan is, who you might know as the guy that created IT Crowd, Father Ted, Black Books, and a couple of other things. He was pretty big a while ago, pretty irrelevant now, but he has basically turned his Twitter into just non-stop anti-trans and dissing lesbians that do support trans people.
Yes.
By claiming that men talk over lesbians, whilst also being unaware of the irony that he is a man talking over lesbians.
Yeah.
Just, it's a beautiful shit show to watch if you're in... Don't follow him, because... fuck him.
No.
But every now and again pop on and just be like, oh, he's gone crazy. But so H-Bomber Guy did a stream because Graham Linehan had done this campaign to get mermaids. They were going to get funded by the National Lottery.
I think the National Lottery picked like a few charities, don't they?
Yeah,
to donate
give money to.
And that was one of the charities.
And then Graham Linehan complained, basically got all of Mumsnet to email them, so they're now reviewing it and might not give them the money. So H-Bomber Guy went, well, fuck it, let's make money for him.
Yeah.
In the end, he made... I think it got to over $500,000.
That's impressive.
It's wild, and like the people that appeared on the stream, like that Alexandria, the New York Congresswoman who's like making waves because she's super like fuck the system. She's like a really cool woman.
Yeah,
she went on it.
Okay,
popped on. There were like the guy that voiced Donkey Kong came on for a while.
Oh, that's cool.
It's wild. That someone had done like a highlight stream, which is like it's a 10-minute video of the highlights, and that's worth watching. My favourite bit in the whole stream was there's this moment where he's just playing Donkey Kong, talking to people, and then he looks at the number, like how much he's made, and he's just like, I've been sort of building a shield and not looking at that number and not really paying attention.
Yeah,
but we've made like so much money. And then he just starts crying because he's like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's such a sweet little moment where I was like, I love him so much. And he's proper like, the way he talks about it, he's like, yeah, like there's a bit in the stream where I maybe have a little bit of a cry. But he's a pretty proper like leans out of the camera and is like,
yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's so adorable and I love him.
That is like such a nice way of turning something so like heinous into something really positive.
Yes. And Graham Linehan tweeted about it.
Yeah.
And then in the stream they were like, wait, you've completely fucked up. because that's
It's
what we
more
wanted you
promotion.
to do.
Yeah.
Because every time you tweet about us, we get donations.
Yeah.
And literally, he just gets bombarded daily, Graham Linehan, with, I believe the tweet is, how do you beat bothered beavers, which was one of the levels that he was struggling with.
Yeah.
So now every time Graham Linehan tweets this like mean shit, someone will comment being like, yeah, but shut up and tell me how to beat bothered beavers. And it's great. I love it. And he hates it. It's
Fantastic.
beautiful.
That is good.
So that's good. So that's the stuff that's been happening recently. I've been well into all that shit, obviously.
Yeah. Well, it's you're getting loads of likes and retweets whenever you tweet anything along
Well, I
those
just did
lines.
one tweet. It was one tweet where I was very angry about Graham Linehan specifically, and the reason I did that tweet was because I was writing a longer one because he'd done an interview and I was complaining about it, but I went over the character limit by a lot. So I was like, well, I've got to condense this into a more sensible thing.
Yeah.
Which was less specific.
Yeah. And what I really liked about your tweet as well is that people were like disputing you on it, and then someone else was jumping in and like cutting them down.
Because I was trying to figure out what to say because I got a bunch of, well, like 3 people being transphobic.
Yeah.
And I was like saying to Liam and Dan, I was like, do I respond to these people or just leave it? Because I don't know.
Yeah.
And then someone that had seen the tweet just went on and said the stuff I was going to say to them, and I was like, sweet, I don't need to.
Yeah, exactly. Which I thought was really nice.
And also, to be fair, the tweet is also saying, I don't need to debate. You can't debate trans rights because you don't get to debate if I exist. Yeah. And then I think the people that were then being mean to me didn't, because I then later went, well, I'm just telling them they can't debate with me, so why the fuck would I debate them?
Yeah,
and I
you
think
can't.
They sort of missed that point.
After you doing that tweet, you can't engage with them because that is the final word from you.
And also, I don't. Yeah, it's great because I don't need to because
Yeah.
they're just completely missing the point of the tweet, which is fuck you. I don't want to debate you about whether I exist.
Exactly.
It's great. So I had a fun time.
Good. And other than that, so far, have you noticed any major differences in yourself during this whole transition period?
Yeah, there's physical changes, all that shit going on.
Is that good?
Yeah.
What about
That'd be weird if it wasn't.
It would be weird if you looked down and you were like, oh, this is not what I expected.
Yeah.
Oh, boobs are heavy. I wasn't expecting that.
I'm effectively having the experience of what you see on TV of the 90s slumber parties where girls are like, I think I'm getting boobs. I'm having that at the age of 28 or however old I am. I'm like, I think I'm getting boobs.
However old you are.
I don't know how old I am.
I feel like you should.
I'm 20. I'm 27. I'm 27.
Why are you aging yourself?
I went down.
Yeah, I know, but you initially were 28, so why did you just assume you're older?
Because I'm the youngest one in my friends group, so people turn 28 and then I get confused with whether I'm the same age as my friends or not.
Right, okay.
And the answer is no, I'm technically a year younger.
Fair enough. How are you finding things like the makeup and hair and fashion and all that sort of stuff?
Makeup I'm bad at. Fashion I'm bad at, but also, fuck it, I do what I want.
Yeah. But are you enjoying having more freedom with fashion, I guess?
It's not even freedom, really.
Options?
It's just,
is it more options?
I get to wear stuff that feels right.
Because with men, it's very much a t-shirt or a long sleeve shirt and jeans, and that's it. Whereas women have a lot more choices. You could wear smart shirts. You could wear casual jackets. I don't do fashion, so for me,
you can wear vests. There's a lot of choices, Liam. You just don't make them.
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like women do have more choices, right?
Well, it depends on what you mean. I guess you could wear a t-shirt and jeans, or you could wear a leggings,
dress,
or a
mini skirt
and a skirt. So I mean, it's one extra item of clothing you could wear.
Then you've got the shoes. There's so many choices for women's shoes.
Yeah, but I wear Converse.
Okay.
And at parties I wear heels.
Yeah.
Not high heels, because fuck those little bitches, they hurt.
Okay. But that's something that you get used to, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to build up that ankle strength.
I've got plenty of ankle strength, mate. Get out of here.
Sure. But high heels hurt, right?
They do, yeah.
Okay. Suspenders, that's another option for female clothing that men don't really get.
What did you say?
Suspenders.
What? Suspenders were originally a male item? Oh, do you mean dungarees? What do you mean?
I think, what are the stockings?
Oh, you're talking about hold up stockings and
aren't they called suspenders?
Yeah, sorry, I thought you meant suspenders that you wear that attach to your trousers. I was like, why is that?
No. Is that what they're called? The the lady stocking things. Are they called suspenders? I don't know.
I've heard them referred to as hold up stockings or something like that because they're held up, or you can get thigh high ones.
Okay, that's an option.
I also don't know. There's too many choices, and I don't like it. You're right, Liam. There's too many choices.
There's so many.
All I know, Liam, is I like dresses. I I like wearing a dress. Sorted.
Perfect. What more do you need to know?
Exactly.
I got through that dress wearing phase when I was like 10.
Yeah.
We've discussed it on the podcast. I'm sure we have. Christmas nativity play where I was one of the maids of milking.
Yeah, maybe you've mentioned it.
For any listeners that are lost, I'll very quickly catch you up. When I was 10 years old, my school was doing the 12 Days of Christmas.
Yeah.
And everyone could be
not
like...
a play. That's not a play.
No, I know. I'm very aware. I volunteered to be one of the maids of milking. And how that worked is we all came out in these really like frumpy, heavy dresses. And like pretended to milk cows and all that bullshit. And then Girls Just Want to Have Fun came on, and we all like ran down the aisle to the back of the hall, whipped off our frumpy dresses, put some makeup on. Underneath we had these slinky little numbers, ran back up onto the stage and did some like dancing. So yeah,
It's very progressive of you, Liam.
Thank you. I honestly don't know why I volunteered to do that looking back.
Yeah. It's not... I wouldn't picture you doing it.
No, I wonder what my mum was thinking at the time. Oh, I was a fruity little kid. She probably thought it was fine. Well, maybe not fine, but expected. Honestly, you should see some of the pictures from that era.
Please send me them.
Nah, that's not a good idea.
I won't post them anywhere.
No, but I would.
Oh, right.
Because I'd be like, this is hilarious. And it's a terrible idea. The internet does not need to see that.
No, fair.